Dutch. Double it up. Okay. Double the buckets and double the Dutch. Double it.
How do you do? This is FaceVsit, the Monster Mashup crew, clan, whatever the fuck you want to call us, but we the mans up in this place. You know what it is? This is Twitch. It's Monday night. Monstercast Monday. Money Monday. Motivation Monday. Make me moolah Monday. You know what I'm saying? Let's make moves Monday. Monday, like you about to watch, you know, yourself on some speakers because people don't know how to put this shit on silent Monday. But yeah, I'm FaceVsit. You already know. I'm El Jefe, the best shit you ever seen on screen, and I am joined today by my clan.
I am Shneaky. DJ, MC, anything you need, Shneaky Entertainment and Consulting on the boards and everything, you know what I'm saying?
What up, y'all? It's your boy BarlosGotBars coming back at you. What's poppin'? Happy Monday. Hope everybody's having a blessed one, you feel me?
And just so y'all know, today we are joined by a very special guest.
And add a couple more very
exponentially very special guest. His name is PreachDaTruth. I grew up with him. He taught me a lot of what I know in this game. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you about to find out. Preach, you got anything to say?
Hey, fool. Preach the truth.
Yeah. Happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me here, man.
Hey, Horde Poppy. Thank you for fucking joining us. My boy been supporting, dog.
You say, yo, preach it.
Just a couple reminders before we get started. Barlos' project drops on Friday. This Friday. If you didn't tune into last week's episode, it's still up on Twitch. Go check it out after this one. Talks about his first project coming out as a solo artist. A lot of feels, a lot of drops, a lot of announcements.
Very exciting.
Check that out. We are going to be coming up with the A-Fool contest where you can win one of these limited edition Mup Clan jerseys. But until that happens, they're available on Etsy. So head over to our Etsy shop, cop one. They were kind of a bitch to make. Not going to happen again likely anytime soon. So if you get it, you got it, and it's gone. It comes with a QR code that will be updated. You'll be getting new music and new drops through the code on the label. So limited edition, limited number, limited run. Get an ASAP. And last and not least, YouTube Season 3 of the Monstercast. 6 episodes, all available. The last one culminating in a live studio audience for Face's birthday.
For 30 for 30.
Super lit. Check it out. This fool went MIA to do his 30 for 30. Barlos and I were trying to hold it down. It's mainly us just getting high and talking about life. So pretty dope podcast.
If you say so myself.
You know what I'm saying? So we got all the segments for you, and then we're gonna jump over to Preach. So who are we gonna start off with today?
Well, you know, it's always me, so today we'll go with Barlos.
Oh
yeah. It's not just the music. I also have to cover what everybody's been blowing up on the slap heard around the world, ladies and gentlemen. Did you guys tune into the Oscars? Because I didn't. Social media did it for me. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I've never seen a man get slapped like that on television.
Not for real.
Not for real.
I've seen The Rock do a couple.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Rick James.
So what happened exactly? You don't mind me asking. As if I didn't see it, because you know I saw it.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what happened.
You don't know what happened. Oh my God.
Let me tell you what's
well, if you've been living under a rock, Barlos.
I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised.
So first and foremost, the Philly came out of the boy. Sheesh.
Nah. Or Bobby said, I was missing with some powder.
Nobody say that nutter like you, powder. Like Jesus Christ. So, you know, we all know how Chris Rock, he can get away with these jokes, and as a comedian, you stretch that barrier a little too much.
He was like, "You wanna
and
with me?"
I love the comedy of it, but I didn't know that she was going through some stuff either.
Alopecia, is that how you say it?
Yeah, alopecia.
I knew that because, like, to me, I don't care what anybody says about Will Smith and Jada. To me, Will Smith and Jada have always been goals because, like, I've always really admired. In fact, my first album I ever bought was Millennium. So, like, I know.
Nah.
But that wasn't on Millennium. But I love Will, and like I knew this about her because obviously if I paid any attention to Will. Also, I was obsessed with Pac, so Jada's like the common denominator
between them both. Yeah.
He had him rolling, and we all know what's been going on with the what's the word? I'm gonna put the parentheses around entanglement. I think that had a lot to do with it as well. But Will's at that point where we were discussing a little earlier with Shneaky about how you were saying he's fearless as well. Like he's
bro's tired of being the crying meme, so he wanted to create another meme to create that meme.
Not only that, is honest. Like in his book, he was really honest about himself, and he talks about how he felt he could never protect the people he loved because his mama was abused, and he would hide in the closet and stuff like that. So I feel like this was a moment for him to be like, okay, I'm who I am now. I'm because he used to be a skinny little kid.
I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with I know who I am.
I'm the man, and I'm not gonna let anybody disrespect my wife. I'm really interested in what Jada feels about it because in his book he talks about this extravagant birthday party he threw her, and she was pissed at it because it was all ego to her. So like I'm interested to see because it's a lot of like it's protect.
We don't know what's going on behind the scenes either.
Right. You don't know there was more to
I also
it,
don't know if Chris Rock came up with that on the flyer. They put that in there, and he didn't know before he read the script. Things happen like that in Hollywood. Yeah. But the G.I. Jane joke, I mean, that was the time for him to step up. And if you know, before the camera pans out, Jada gives him that side. You better go do something about it.
Didn't Denzel slap somebody on the Oscars as well?
I'm not sure, but it was probably somebody like on the red carpet.
I know Will slapped the reporter.
Will slapped the reporter before that.
They tried to kiss him. He was on the tour.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I also know, I covered in the psychedelic studies, his GQ, and you said you heard his book on Audible, right?
Yeah.
He was talking about like he's in his fucking 50s and like he's doing all the projects he wants to do, the movies he wants to do. He's pretty much like not worried about being that guy anymore, So I don't know if it maybe like
he's got that fuck you one.
Yeah, but also still holding on to that past and like trying to like move, because we're like you said in his apology, if that one was
and he apologized.
He's like, I'm a work in progress. But I did hear a hot take where that's like, man, that's how all abusers talk. Like, oh, sorry, baby, my bad. Like,
I don't think he's an abuser.
I know, but in physical violence, that kind of like,
I will give Chris Rock his professionalism though to hold it together.
So what do you guys think? Let's go around the table real quick. Let's start from that side and go that way. Was he righteous in the slap or not, Barlos? What do you think?
I don't think so. That's my opinion.
Why not?
Why? If he's really trying to work on himself, his patience should have took over. And I guess that, that little boy, that little scared moment that you were talking about, that's where it came out at, and he had to unleash it. Unfortunately, it's the biggest stage in the world. Luckily, it wasn't no other person. I know it's Chris Rock, you know what I'm saying? Like,
like it wasn't The Rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I still think he would have done it. I think he would have still gone up there. But also, I don't think The Rock would say something like that
because that's not off-brand for The Rock.
Yeah, it's off-brand for The Rock.
I mean, at the end of the day, to me, it's comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Chris Rock is a comedian, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he comes from an era where they talking about offensive jokes.
Talking about
like
your
that.
real-life situations and finding the funniness about it.
But making fun of somebody's sickness and their wife.
And he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know. He just, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if he didn't know. I don't honestly know, but I know that if you're... As somebody who like isn't fully in the game, but like I pay attention to everybody in the game, and I kind of make it my business to know certain things. I kind of feel like he'd probably be doing the same thing.
Nah, and I've heard interviews about Chris Rock. Like he reads 5 different newspapers every morning, different fucking perspectives, different things. Like well educated, constantly.
He's a genius.
Up on the latest news. Like he's aware that fool's not living under a rock.
Right.
No, of course not. But that's my opinion, and that's my opinion.
No, that's cool. What about you, Preach? What do you think?
I don't think it was justified. I think if anything, what I would have personally did, I would have probably laughed and caught his ass after the after party after I won my
let's preach.
award. You know what I mean?
You know
what I mean?
Go behind closed doors and shit.
Or at least talk to the man behind closed doors, and if he, you know what I mean?
You know what's interesting about that? I feel like a part of why he reacted the way he reacted was because in his anger and his like emotional state, and I think he quickly did assessment because he's a Libra, so like. I think he quickly did an assessment of what the outcome would be, and I think the first assessment was like, I'm gonna let everybody in the world know right now
that Will Smith ain't no punk.
I ain't no punk. Keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth, and I think that's why he did it. So yeah, he yes, it was an emotional reaction, which you know, G's don't act in emotion, but sometimes you can't help it.
I mean, sometimes
I'm gonna let you take this comment. What you think about what Horror Poppy has to say?
My take is he wasn't right with it, but he did say he wished he was more like Tupac in comparison. Where did he say that? I read his book. I read his book, and he talked about the Tupac relationship in that shit. And he said he regrets not being close with him. I don't know if he ever.
It's a little bit because he said he was like a little bit
Jealous?
perturbed by their relationship.
Right, he was.
You know what I
And he
mean?
said that's why he regrets not being close to Tupac because of that relationship. Because he said it was very positive.
But that's why it was so standoffish. You know what I mean? Between those two.
Yep.
I mean, they had a platonic soulmate relationship. They never did anything beyond like friendship, as far as I know.
Yeah. But it's like, you know what I mean? Another man
loving your wife.
Yeah, and being probably knowing more about your wife than you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that shit could.
But at the end of the day, I'm sure Pac would have wanted more, and you know, in my situation, it was that, and we found out, and it ended badly. But yeah,
What's your take?
So my take is he was righteous in slapping him. I think that he jumped up and did that on purpose in front of the world stage, and I think that he's a work in progress. We all are. And at the end of the day, like
he's also an entertainer, marketing, fucking. He knows how to set himself up for future shit, right?
At the end of the day,
so does Chris Rock.
It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood. He, like my boy Preach just said, my man's Preach just said, he just won Best Actor Academy Award. So like, who knows if this is real? I honestly don't think it's two black men in Hollywood that they would make this a thing, because it'd be like, oh look, you know.
Look, we give them something now.
I
can speak on it. I can speak on it. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, we gave them something. Now look at them.
So you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, at the same time, I know what it is to be a man that's frustrated. I know what it is to be a man that loves his wife and wants to protect his wife, and I know what it is to feel like I'm fucking tired of this shit.
Right.
And I know what it is to have hands and want to fucking show them.
So the homie elaborated a little bit. He said it was more like, it wasn't like he wanted to be like him, but more like he wished he had that fearless passion. You know, like he always admired that about him.
I think he did say that even in his book, and I think he that's part of why he did it. Like even the show he has on National Geographic was him facing
his fears.
He doesn't know how to swim. Like, he didn't know how to swim, and he went to the deepest fucking trenches in the ocean.
And named that shit Fresh Peak.
Ever since he turned 50, he's been kind of doing that.
Yeah.
So it's that he's on another level of consciousness than what he previously was. Like, maybe the old Will Smith were like, maybe I shouldn't do that, but he's just on a he like I'm saying, man, he's still working on himself, but I think he knows himself better than he ever did. You know what I mean? I mean,
at that age, I hope I know myself just as well, if not better.
All right, so
you know.
I'm gonna like split hairs here, right? I think
Gemini.
He was just justified in having a reaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like, you know, we should all be moving to a world where like there is no need for violence, you know.
Okay,
and I feel like violence shouldn't be the fucking answer, or it shouldn't be your first go-to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been equally as powerful if he walked up and, like, you know, pulled aside and whispered to him some shit and walked off, and it'd be like, whoa, you know, like almost like the kind of like the Bane fucking, you know, like
you feel powerful.
Yeah, like.
But then what if Chris would have hit him with another joke though? You know what I mean?
I think.
Well, but I mean,
exactly. You never know.
But maybe like depending on what he said to him, he's like, yo man, you say one more thing, I will slap this shit out of you, right? And then like at that point, you have a warning.
So you think
you should, and then you know what I mean? At least you did your diplomatic.
You think you should have given him a warning before?
Yeah.
Did he get a warning before he made a joke about his wife?
True too.
But like he said in his apology, he's like
who?
Will.
Oh.
He's like, yo, like as a person in this, I should know that I am the fucking target of jokes. Like,
but when you talk about my wife's health, like he said, but
that's why justified in the reaction, don't like the reaction, you know.
And the thing is, Chris Rock has made jokes about Jada before. You know what I mean? About being at the Oscars. I mean, like.
Well, I was going down a Twitter rabbit hole, and I get like someone was like, "Man, Chris Rock has been playing after Will and Jada since '96."
Yeah, but it wasn't about. It wasn't about her medical.
It wasn't just the
because I think it was because of the medical condition. All of those can be brushed
And then
off
also,
as jokes,
like,
you know
I
what
know
mean?
what it is to be
Yeah.
with my wife and be getting ready, and you know she has her certain issues or whatever.
Her insecurities.
Insecurities, and maybe the baldness is a big insecurity. Maybe he had to tell her, please come with us, please. All the family's going. You don't know what happened behind closed doors. Maybe he had to literally beg her to go, and maybe they said we're gonna go and we're gonna be fearless and we're gonna be this and
We're
that.
gonna have a good time.
And
We're gonna have a good time. And then like they're fucking poking jokes at them and shit.
And then like you,
Is that why Willow cut her hair? Because
I think so in solidarity.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that sounds like that's some shit.
Yeah.
Character wise, you know.
I really would love for Jada to write a book. To be honest with you, because
she's very, very like,
Private, right?
Yeah, like but she's good at she's a good storyteller.
No, bro, she's a poet. She knows how to write songs. She knows how to write movies. You know, she produces her own movies. She's a very accomplished woman. She's beautiful. She's smart. You know, and I just like I really want to know what Jada's take is on it. But outside of that, I feel like, and this could be me just being a machismo old school cat, I feel like you do what you gotta do. Fuck whoever says whatever, especially when you got fuck you money. Like, bro. And matter of fact, do what you gotta do no matter what, in spite or because of this fuck you money. Like, I will do anything to protect my wife or my kids. And if you come at any of them, I promise you, you're gonna see a side that you may have never seen.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking
No,
care of
again,
family, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with like
reaction
being like
was
that.
justified. Did not like the actual,
I just to your point, you know, I have been seeking like because of my reaction being violent, and you know, it's a survival instinct when you react with violence because that's all you ever knew.
Tapped into that market and probably like been like the street poet of his name and telling other people's stories, and he didn't do that, right?
Exactly, and you know, I agree because like even in like I'm reading like a lot of books, and in the 33 laws of war, they even say violence isn't the greatest act of war. Violence is like should be your last. So like and maybe if you went up there and he approached him with like, hey, look, man, I'm gonna just let you know. You do that. So maybe that would have been a better tactic.
And it still would have had like the whole people like, oh shit, this fool walked up. You know, you still would have had some like intrigue and mystique and
maybe
it would have been front page like motherfucker like was they weren't even talking about Ukraine today, you know what I mean? It was a slap.
I mean, and that's also, I think that's also a disservice, right?
It is. Yeah, it is.
Like the Questlove won for that doc. And no one's talking about that.
Summer of Soul.
Like he won for the Williams story. And no one's really talking about
that. And that's his first Oscar, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's like...
Yeah, it's sullied.
It's kind of, that's the word. Sullied. Like, it's like, dog.
I mean, but at the same time...
But then I saw on LA I was like...
I believe you're probably looking at it from a different perspective because you're actually married, you know what I mean?
Yeah, none of us, we're not...
None of us are married, you know what I mean? So... We can't fault you for feeling the way you do. I would have just handled it handily. I would have called him after the after party. All right, I'm about to see if I get my thing, and when I catch him, I'm gonna catch him.
You would have started that shit.
We could have talked, you know what I mean? If he would have,
because for me, like I know how it is with me and how I act. Like I would have been there festering for the whole time, and what I would have done when I saw him backstage would have been worse than a slap.
Or someone said he could have used his,
and they said they had to calm him down.
Could have used his acceptance speech to call him out, like, yo, man.
That would have been cool too, though.
But he didn't know he was gonna win, right? So like, you wait for the opportunity.
That's what Denzel told him, though. You know, that's why he was crying too. Is like when you get to your peak, that's when the devil comes for you.
Hey, that's just knock somebody out and then cry after.
And then I saw like clips of like just how awkward like it must have been for Chris Rock to have to be up there when they're like, and he, like someone gave him an Oscar to present to Will, and he was like looking around like, why did y'all give me this shit? You see? And like someone had to step in and grab it, and he backed up, and like nobody was acknowledging the fact that shit was like that fool just assaulted him like earlier that day. Like, it was like.
And supposedly the LAPD reached out, but he said nothing.
Chris Rock ain't snitching.
No.
But all right.
I mean, he's not pressing charges.
I think all right. So again, I think I know the court system's a little bit better than most, and like it's not up to the victim to press charges. It's up to the police to see something went wrong. So like I don't know if that's an embellishment on the story, because if something went wrong and somebody physically assaults you, they represent the people. So they're gonna arrest you. They're gonna document everything, and then they're gonna give it to the DA, and then the DA is gonna decide whether or not they file. It's never up to the victim. Now the victim could decide whether or not they're gonna cooperate, but I mean they don't need to cooperate when it's on national television.
So in the movies, they're like, oh, they're not pressing charges.
No,
That's,
well, it depends.
Oh,
in the county of Los Angeles.
That's the DA.
In the county of Los Angeles,
They do actually, if you do press charges though, like they do actually that question. I mean, if you want to like,
maybe
if they go to court,
or
and
maybe
you want to
that
testify,
maybe that influences their decision to press charges, because maybe they're like, well, if you don't want to, why are we gonna do it? And you don't even want to do it, but if you want to do it, then we're down to like.
Exactly.
Well, maybe that's what happened. Maybe he said I won't cooperate, and they were like, it's not worth it. But at this time, like, bro, it's on national television. You don't need to cooperate.
Also, like. The way the court systems are right now, they're like, we're gonna
Gascon's letting everybody go.
Hollywood bullshit.
They're not fucking with it.
No, they would eat this up though.
Yeah, but for all they know, it was staged. It's just entertainment. You know, you don't know that. Like, we just at the end of the day,
I believe even more that Chris Rock would say that to the police. It was staged.
Yeah, that was in the script. You know, he didn't even hit me out some WrestleMania shit.
Yeah,
He said, "Okay, dude."
He said that this is probably the greatest moment in television ever.
Now, he also wanted to just like in his brain, he must have had like so many rapid fire back at him.
Like the smirk that he had, and he went, "Oh." He's like, wait a minute. He checked himself. He was gonna say something again. He said, "Oh, wait."
It's that look. It's the look you see a comedian when there's a heckler. You're like, "Oh,
yeah, it's about to get."
yeah."
He stopped Chris Rock, but I've been hit before and not reacted, and it took everything in me. And
his rebuttal was flawless. I give him that.
I don't know.
Bro's a genius.
Yeah.
I don't know if on a stage like, because I did it was in private. And I did it, and on that stage at that I would have been like, all right, bro, bam, you know, like.
But he was probably so in shock, bro.
Nah, I also think
he said it. Will Smith just hit me. Like,
Will Smith just slapped the shit out of him.
I also think like there's some like layer of like respectability politics, right? Like I'm pretty sure Chris Rock thought like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this fool up, but there's gonna be two black men fighting on the biggest stage in the world. You know, it's like, how's that look for both of our careers? And then like, you know, black entertainment, black comedy. How does this benefit? Like, I don't know how much. Again, he's a well-read, very intelligent dude. Like
that whole crowd.
Pretty sure his brain works quick. I'm pretty sure he went through all the motions. He's like, I'm not doing this here.
We've all been in fights, right?
Yeah.
We've all been in fights here. We all know
everything that slows down.
Everything slows down. Adrenaline, because you know they say, man, time is a man-made concept. Everything's happening at the same time, whatever. So it's relative. So I know what it feels like when time slows down and you're in a fight and your adrenaline kicks in. I'm pretty sure at that moment where we thought 3 things, he thought 100. You know, so like. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can't put yourself in those shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
in front, you know the world is watching, bro.
Yeah,
you know the world is watching.
Yeah, everybody's tuned in.
You know this is going to be the most talked about thing.
He said it. This is the biggest moment in television history. Like he said it.
That whole crowd gasped. Like they
I know the pictures that they saw the interview like.
Ryan, what do you call it? Was sitting right behind him? Was it the actor from? She's a beautiful.
She's from Black Panther.
Yeah, but she's from.
Something else.
She. You could see her. She was like, oh shit. Like she knew she was the same angle too, for sure. Like,
nah, because at first I think everybody thought that he was part of the show. Until he got back to the scene, he started cussing and shit.
When he said, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. When he said that twice, I was like,
Lupita,
like, that was like, I was like, Lupita. That's the point.
Yeah, Lupita.
You know, I don't know if it was real. I don't know if it was.
I can't say her last name. It starts with an N. I just can't say it.
We're not gonna butcher that.
I got a homie who's Nigerian and his last name starts with an N.
We just call him NWA.
Well, no, you don't say it. It's like Wadaway, but it's spelled N Wadaway. It's spelled NWA.
Just call him by his nickname.
Yeah,
it's not
Wiyongo or something. Wiyongo or something like that.
Yeah, man. But that's my shocking
story. That's your segment.
That's one half of it.
Oh,
and
nice.
This one leads into the other one because this is the special hits and hits because I want to give a special congratulations to my brother for dropping the Love Tape. Love Tape Volume 1.
Songs for DeAnna available on all streaming platforms.
That's how you pronounce it?
Yeah, like Dirty DeAnna.
That's
DeAnna.
right. I was like,
Give a round of applause for my brother, bro.
No, I'll tell one of my friends. It's named after my friend.
Picking up.
My friend Cubby. I was gonna name it after it, and I like to. If you wanna keep your friends, you always gotta keep your promises, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Like, no, man, I just
that's some real shit.
That shit is fire, bro.
I want to keep
I
any
appreciate
relationship.
y'all,
We gotta
man.
keep
It's amazing.
Looking forward to it.
Word and bond.
guys
Yeah, we're
can
gonna go more into it later for sure. After we get done with these segments. I got some things that I heard that I want to talk about. And I know
I'm going off the cuff.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Off the cuff.
My bad. You don't have no cuffs.
I did want to have my jackets on.
Okay, cuffs. Cool.
Cuffs. Cuffy cuffs.
Oh well, since we're banging at each other, should the thug nerd come out now or what?
Yeah.
Hey, fool.
You wanna do your thing for me?
Yes,
Hey, fool.
So
Where's the control though?
the control is uncontrollable.
Controller.
The control
Thanks for-
is
I'm like
not
a Goku.
present. Yeah, Lupita something, homie.
Lupita something, homie.
Hey man, respect to you though. You popping. All right, you guys.
That's what
So
I want to do.
obviously,
All of them together, it's face, and the thug nerd segment, it's face.
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We got some
There's no
spoilers. There's no
spoilers.
spoilers. There's no
That was in itself.
Damn, we psyched you out.
Psychedelic study segment next. Anyway,
No, Sessions jumped in the chat.
just so y'all know, again, there's so much to talk about in the nerdum, but I'm gonna just keep it quick and sweet because I do have a special guest here, and I want to talk about him. Sonic the Hedgehog movie poster did it justice. Of course, it's coming out April 1st, which is this Friday, which is April Fool's, which is awesome for, the blue hedgehog who is a jokester, prankster himself. I'm really looking forward to it. I really like that they paid homage to its origins, and it, as you can see behind me, it actually showed off, like, if you can't see it, but Jim Carrey, Dr. Egg is right there.
He's got the hand on the tube.
He's got his hands on the tube. Unfortunately, the picture saved weirdly, so it's not going to come up. But so they did ode to part 2 where they introduced Tails, and of course, I'm very excited to watch it. I'm definitely taking my daughter to watch it for her birthday, and she of course wants to watch it. And I'm excited for it. I hope everybody else is. If you're in the comments or the chat, let me know what your favorite thing about the Hedgehog is. My favorite thing is definitely the fact that they are making fun of Batman in it. What is it called? The Blue Avenger or something like that. He calls himself as a crime fighter. And I'm also excited to see what they do with Tails. To me, Tails, I swear, I still don't even know this, and y'all could take my nerd card for this, but is Tails a boy or a girl? Because I always thought it was a girl.
Tails is a boy. Okay. Miles, Tails, Powers. This is a boy.
See?
Yeah?
See?
Tails is a boy? Why I always think that was a girl?
Me too. Maybe having 2 tails is feminine.
Or I think it was they did the animation thing. It was high pitched voice and smaller to not be as big.
Making him kind of androgynous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm excited to watch it. I like what they did with the first one. I really feel like they listened to fans. I mean, they literally changed the deadline and the drop date because they wanted to change what the Hedgehog looked like because fans weren't happy. And now they're also doing an ode to the cover of the second video game on Sega Genesis. Moving on. Did you get my other artwork?
I never beat that damn game.
Me neither.
I always got to the end and lost.
Yeah, the end was the hardest.
Yeah, because you had no coins.
You
had to hit bro precisely.
It's all good, bro. I'll just
Fuck
keep
him.
going. You could just
Fuck Robot.
Moonknight, yeah.
I'm glad he's being played by Jim Carrey.
Jim's
amazing.
I mean, I think his level of consciousness is where I want to get to. How he would go to the same spot every day and he would say, I think it was $26 million for my first movie or something like that. And for Liar Liar, that's what he got. And he understood manifestation.
It's like he took DMT and he just understands the world.
And but this movie was broke as hell. And I feel like I myself have done shit like that where it's like I just go and say I'm gonna do something before I'm even aware I'm gonna do it. Really,
You're going you put that in your subconscious, but you're consciously doing it.
And I tell everybody I'm gonna do it, and people doubt me, and I'm like I don't know how much. In my set, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it.
Because he deserved what he got, bro. Bro had 3 legendary comedies, all in the year 1994.
Well, apparently that's he went to like a psychic or something, and they said that was gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, I don't know.
Yeah, because he said he wrote himself a check for $1 million. He was like, I'm gonna make $1 million in this film.
No, it was 26.
He was
26 million.
Okay.
Moonknight.
He had it in his wallet. He said he kept it in his wallet all the time. He would go to this place and look at like the view and just think about that, and that's exactly like what I do.
Bro, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, and The Mask come out the same year, bro.
Yeah. All right, so you guys, Moonknight.
Oh my God, sir.
It's the Moonknight.
Moonknight. Like, I'm gonna be real, 150% with y'all. It's not. Yeah, that first version not it. So
Sonic,
glad it was updated.
The Sonic.
Oh, okay. Cool. Oh yeah, the Sonic. I thought you were talking about the poster. I was like,
no, it said Sonic.
Yeah, that first version was horrible. I was like, why did they do that to him?
Shout out to Horror Poppy.
Yeah, Horror Poppy. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know that's your people, right?
That's my people. Yeah.
Right. So,
Follow him on Twitter and Twitch.
I will follow you. Follow back though.
I'm coming back in a big way, allegedly.
So, Moonknight, man, it's a dope. I've seen like the animated movie or whatever of Moonknight. I haven't really looked into him as a comic book character ever. He really didn't interest me because to me he always reminded me of Batman, which seems to be like the consensus everywhere.
More of Azrael.
Well, they're not actually.
I feel you, but he's very similar because he doesn't really have like his super strength.
His look is more Azrael. That's
yeah, definitely. But his super strength comes and goes with the moon. So the face.
Oh,
of the moon.
okay.
So like he doesn't always have it, and like one of his personalities, which I'll get into. So let me just break this down. It airs March 30th, starring Oscar Isaac, which we all know from Shneaky.
Apocalypse, Rogue One.
All right, Oscar. All right,
He's in a lot of movies, right?
He's in a lot of movies. All right, he got his nerd. He was actually introduced as a villain in 1975 in the werewolf comic, where the werewolf was the superhero. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but Marvel actually started from the Marvelous comics that like literally talked about monsters all the time.
Did not know that.
Monster Master Clan. Anyway.
Did not know that.
Yeah, put you on game real quick. And Mark Spector in the comic books is usually his main personality, but he has 3 personalities. And Stephen Grant is the one that they're actually going with in this comic book. They're making him like a gift store, like, like
a museum gift store clerk or something.
But in the comic books, that character is a billionaire. So he has all these gadgets and stuff like Batman. And he's in the night like Batman. But yeah.
No, I heard someone say they're intentionally doing these other personas different to not like to very distinguish.
And that makes sense. And then his other 2 personalities are Jake Locke, who's a cab driver. Oh no, yeah, Jake Locke, who's a cab driver, and I don't remember the other guy's name. But yeah, so. Yeah, I really don't know a lot about this character. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm excited to see what they do. Rest in peace to the villain. I forgot his name, but he passed away right when they aired. The same day they aired the trailer to this is the day he died.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's the main guy who's the villain in it.
Ethan Hawke?
No. Ethan Hawke is in it. He's a main too, but there's another guy. He's a blonde. I forgot his name.
He's about to trip out.
What?
Ethan Hawke did not die. No.
I was like, dude, how did I not hear that?
No, I love
Taylor Hawkins and Ethan Hawke are taking out the birds, homie.
Oh shit. So that is like I said, I'm keeping it short and sweet, but we do have a lot to talk about. I still have not even talked about No Way Home. I haven't talked about Ned's grandmother and how she's Filipino. I haven't talked about
Kenobi.
I haven't talked about Kenobi yet. Yeah, it's Gaspard Ulliel, who is
that's the dude who died in the movie.
Yeah, he died. Yeah, he died. He's the one who died. I forgot his name. as a character, because again, I'm not really familiar with him.
He's a French actor, you know. Like,
but it starts,
no, but he played Hannibal, I believe.
It starts this Wednesday, so
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it should be fun.
This week is a big week. You know, we got the Oscar slap. We got we got this coming. We got
Kenobi's dropping soon, and then Doctor Strange is coming out in like
Yep.
weeks. Or like next month. A month. Yeah.
Crazy.
So stay tuned. I promise you that as we continue to bring you season 4, you shall be very, very interested.
Hey, fool.
Tight.
Stay tuned.
All right. My turn.
Psychedelic studies with Shneaky Man.
For those of you who don't know, my segment is Psychedelic Studies, where I bring you latest updates on decriminalization or interesting news that I find, as I believe we're going through a psychedelic renaissance, and I'm just trying to do my part. Today's article, I actually took in from Scientific American, which is like a big deal. It's a huge, it's actually a huge journal, you know.
It's a huge scientific journal.
Yeah, where they publish like legit studies and stuff. So for there to be talk about psychedelics, it's just another way that it's like really becoming more and more mainstream, right? And the title is that a psychedelic may soon go to the FDA for approval, which means that if the FDA approves, you'll be actually able to go and use this treatment to treat your illnesses, right? Which is a pretty big deal. And I don't know if you know how hard that shit is, and this article goes into it, but I'm not gonna go that. It's really dense, a lot of stuff to cover, so I'm just gonna give you highlights of stuff that I thought was interesting, and then there's kind of a hot take at the end, so stay tuned. Ready? So this came out last month in February. They're gonna be using it to treat PTSD, which affects 15 million people, so it's a big deal. And this is actually a quote and how it works, right? So MDMA helps people, quote, better able to confront emotionally evocative and disturbing memories. Lets them set aside fears and face recollections. And I'll get more into that later. They go into a brief history about how there was a bunch of, studies funded to say that it was lethal and that it would kill, basically the same stuff that they talked about like in drug use for grown-ups, basically like institutes funding the research to say the things that they already believe, whether it's true or not. And when it first went Schedule 1, it was automatic 15 years in prison if you had this stuff on you. So we've come a long way, trust me, I know from experience. How it works, it talks about how it works. It operates on the serotonin system, which controls like happy thoughts and mood and stuff. And they just really weaponized the science. They actually used artificial brain maps that were colored differently, and they were like, "This is your brain on ecstasy," and it was totally fake shit. Like they changed the colors to make it look like your brain was fucked up.
More was going on than what it was actually going on.
Yeah, it was like some straight fucking like fucking fake news shit. Like, like they just
almost like a reefer madness in the third.
Right. And all the scientists were just like, "Yeah, this is your brain looks like Swiss cheese," Don't remember? Do you remember it puts holes in your brain? Remember?
Yeah.
To tell you that?
Yeah.
Because of this fucking artificially colored shit, like total bullshit. I don't know about that, but this is one that people told me, and I was like, "Oh, that's where they thought like it's because you remember those commercials? This
is your brain on drugs." Yeah.
I never believed any of that.
They showed the Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
I was like, if that's true,
like that.
Should be tell me why crackheads is long as anyway.
Ecstasy is actually so powerful, like for connections, that when they gave it to an octopus are usually like solitary beings. The quote is, "Octopus develops a penchant for hugging." So like the octopus want to be hugged and hug people and shit. Like
that's a trip.
I can believe that.
And this is like one interesting too, is that it actually reinitiates a critical period similar to when you're a child, like when you're first learning your social and like emotional, like a learning of your childhood stuff. And this is actually something that I thought might come in handy for some people I may know, is that
as he points to me.
And they couldn't see me point to you. May help.
Now they know.
May help with emotional trauma. when trust has been compromised.
It's funny you say that because like I really feel like what was the truth serum that they used?
Emotional damage.
MDMA was part of the truth serum that they used to like have people say shit they didn't want to say, and it's funny you say that because it's literally something that I've been talking to the person I'm with to like implement to have conversations about shit because like honesty is the best policy. Like if you lie about shit, it's gonna come out eventually, man. Especially if it's like a situation that you continuously in. So like,
I thought about you when I read that, and basically like the trials and the things that they're really applying this to is going to be veterans, victims of physical and sexual assault, and survivors of natural disasters. Then they get PTSD.
Those are all things with PTSD.
Right.
What about gangsters?
You know what though? I mean, as more studies come out,
maybe the jail experience. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because
I met people that were institutional. I mean,
because I got my brother's been in there.
Let me wrap it and then we'll go round table. My bad, dude. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
I want everybody to see you when we're chatting about this, bro. It's more powerful when they can see your face, you know. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so off-screen producers. There's a like I said, it's dense. There's a sick-ass graph of the actual protocol and the steps for approval. But they're hoping to get it done by 2023. So this is something that might happen soon.
That's fast. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
But it's a process, right? So I like to be balanced, you know. My Libra placement is trying to help me to be more balanced and shit.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks. There's a couple things that they're worried about, right? In most cases, once you do one MDMA session, you're good. But that's like just in the small studies they've done, right? They're not sure if like people are gonna have to keep coming back for more sessions, which could kind of diminish the point. Because that's one of their catch things is like, oh, you have to be on antidepressants your whole life, right? But this is like you do it once and you're good. So if it turns out that that's not true for bigger sample sizes, that might be an issue, right?
Right.
Also, unlike other treatments, it's really dependent on frame of mind and environment, which is like it's more like you have to do way more education and for the patients and the people who are going to do it, right? Because it's like
it's like that whole
like set and setting, right? And then there's also like the construction of the space because it's all about your area, right? So like how
like when we're on
feels
shrooms and we don't want to be around certain people,
right? Exactly. So it means you have to have more trained facilitators. And it could last like that actual critical period for when you're relearning shit. It could actually last for weeks.
I believe that.
So they want to like have a protocol where you're actually using all that time to do as like maximize the healing, right? And so it might be harder to like do that if people are like going back to the situations that trigger them or just the environment, right?
Yeah.
And just a couple of caveats, like. Everybody who's in these trials is severe PTSD, and they've been suffering for more than a decade, and they have what's considered treatment resistant, which means that no matter what they take, they still 90% of them like severe depression, suicidal thoughts like on a daily basis,
because there's no telling something might trigger them,
right? And that's why they were worried about like giving an experimental drug to people with suicidal thoughts, because that could be like really bad, right? Which is where like the hot take comes in a bit. It's coming, but just to kind of like just some more thoughtfulness of what it takes. They do 3 prep sessions before they even do anything, and then it's a 3 all-day MDMA sessions where they're like complete supervision like the whole time,
Wow, that's a lot.
It's like and then there's like 3 weeks after that, right? So it's a very intense process, which it could help or hurt the whole approval. But here's what I thought something was really funny is that some people who took ecstasy and some people who took the placebo, like they both thought they were taking the other shit. Like someone took placebo and they're like, oh fuck, I feel it, and someone took ecstasy, I don't feel shit, which made me think like, damn, like your mind's really powerful, right? Like you can straight up fight the high. Like I didn't think that was possible with like straight up fight the high, dog. And the way that the ecstasy works is that it really helps you to discuss the trauma without becoming emotionally overwhelmed. And which makes therapy and talking about it easier, and they notice that people have way more self-compassion and they feel love for themselves and they don't associate themselves with the trauma, And they say that there's actually like a physical change. Like people like stand up straighter. They start making eye contact. They're smiling and shit.
But that could also start from the brain and confidence, you know.
Right. So again, all these things have to be studied. It's a process. They're gonna like it's gotta be hashed out. But I did see this shit that came across my Twitter while I was looking up this shit, and I thought this was something that, you know, this could be like a rebuttal, right? So I'm gonna put this on the screen real quick. So it says for the people listening, dear psychedelic research, and this came from a random snail on Twitter. At a random snail on Twitter. Dear psychedelic researchers and industry leaders, people with mental illness are not pawns in your political, careerist, and economic games. Cool. You do not help us by rushing the science and pushing through approval processes. You only help yourselves. Slow down, stop lying, do better. Thanks. And then they retweeted themselves and said, the problem with using medicalization as a Trojan horse for ending prohibition is that no matter how you slice it, you are saying it's okay to do experimental research on people with mental illness to pursue political objectives. It's not ethical. So I'm gonna bring the table back, and I want to see. I want to get everybody. Oh, hey, what's up, Farah?
Farah, what's up?
So I want to get everybody to weigh in. Please talk about the other stuff you were talking about as well.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Face. You know, I just go with the flow, baby.
So, I mean, you were talking about how, you know, you think you could benefit from some of this stuff with some of your
stuff. I definitely think, like, relationships in general, and, like, my situation, loss of trust or whatever it is or may be, I think that, you know, you do stuff with your couple, like, your partner anyway, like, why not do some ecstasy and, like, really have some conversations that maybe one of y'all
heal together.
Heal together. Definitely think that it's kind of dope now that it might become like legal, because it would be dope to do like couples counseling with that and have a mediator there.
Which is how it exploded like in the 80s and shit. Right, how it started. So
I don't know who Stinky Tofu 310 is. I could guess, but yo.
What?
But yeah, no. This is. I think it's dope. I also think that. We're not pawns, but at the same time, this is something that should have been like looked into a long time ago. We all know the government has played with it. We all know like MDMA has been on the street forever. I know that I've written songs that were way more honest than a lot of the other things I wrote when I was on it. You know, like, and I just feel like there is a level of peace that you feel with yourself that yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah. He said you making him want to do drugs.
Hey, bro. Man, I'm sorry if I triggered you, bro.
Nah, it's not. Go do them psychedelics and tell me how it is. Anybody want some jewelry? You see this dope ass chain right here?
You see this dope ass chain right here?
You know what I'm saying?
Not this one.
This dope ass chain, Gold Mark Co. Anyway, real spit though, I could see that. I could really see it benefiting a lot of people, even me, growing up. Like I said earlier, survival tactic for me was like violence and like using my fists and my hands to do what I had to do. I definitely think and know people that have been in jail and whatnot, and they're not the same as when they went in. They're programmed literally, like when you're from certain things that you got to run a program. When you're in there, you got to run program. They program you to be ready for whatever. So I think that that is something that everybody can benefit from in a controlled environment. And a lot of us out here self-medicate. A lot of us do drugs to like numb pain. But what if we did
drink? All type of shit.
But what if we did drugs? Anything that alters your mind, state.
People eat. Drink, people go to dessert, people shop. Like, there's all kinds of shit that people do.
People work out. But people do all types of
anything.
shit.
Addictive personalities are addictive personalities. You're going to go hard at something even when it's not something illegal.
Yeah, I've had a homie tell me, like, yo, I was in the gym and that shit was bad for me. Like, it was an addiction. Like, it wasn't even healthy, Like, longevity. It wasn't sustainable.
I got into the gym like that to the point where, like, I made my body, like, break down.
Tears and, like,
I couldn't.
I need some rest, man.
Yeah, and it's like, unfortunately, like, not everybody understands that, and when you're younger, you definitely don't understand that. You feel invincible. And
you are when you're younger, right? But as you get older, you try to push that same. You start pulling shit, cracking shit.
Exactly.
It just starts breaking under the pressure.
And I really think that that's something that
for real.
Cause like, bro, like we self-medicate to numb trauma. But what if we medicated to heal trauma?
Right.
The shadow work.
And what if we actually had fucking professionals who
Right.
were there instead of like, you know, surrounded by just other people who are fucking broke. You know, like,
Which
other
go-
people who have no like, you know, like just trying to figure it out too instead of some kind of like protocol, some kind of
Which
program.
goes all the way back to like Reaganomics when like mental health patients were like forced out into the street.
Let
because of
out,
funding,
right,
you
yeah.
know?
You were gonna bring up because he mentioned hood. You brought up jail, and you were gonna get into that, and I kind of cut you off. I was hoping you could expand on that.
I can't even remember, but I just know just being in
The screen a
jail.
little more.
I just know being in jail. You come out with a different mentality. You know what I mean? Because when you're in jail for a certain amount of time, it's like a survival instinct. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm speaking from you know what I mean, somebody I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just getting back into society and being able to get back into that, you know what I mean, and not going off to those rules like, okay, if this person does something, I gotta check him, like type shit, you know what I mean? It's just okay, so I gotta get back into society. I gotta use different methods of the way how I communicate with people and shit like that, and it takes help because if you're in jail for a certain amount of time, you look how this shit has been going. Like technology takes steps bigger and bigger every decade, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So at the beginning of this decade, it wasn't a lot of stuff that there is now, you know what I mean? Right. So it takes a lot to get accumulated with that and be accumulated with society. And you just need people to help you acclimate it. You just need people around you, you know what I mean, to help you out with that, if you want the help, though,
Well,
you know what I mean?
I agree with that, and there's like industry, like homeboy industries. I believe that's what they do. Like that's what they specialize in, and like that's always something that I've been interested as well. Like with Street Rebirth, like I've always wanted to like do
rehabilitation, reacclimation.
Yeah, because once you know,
like a better version of a halfway house.
I was blessed to like when I was gonna go to jail, somebody like got me out of the situation. They told me jail's gonna be easy for you. You'll handle that shit. It's nothing. But I don't want you to ever go there because once you're in, you're not ever the same. And that fucked me up because it's like, isn't the point of jail to
rehabilitate
you? But that's not what happens. And like we all know, growing up black and brown, we're more likely to be in jail than anybody else. So
it dehabilitates you.
Yeah, it dehabilitates you, and it gives you like this stamp of
you're more than likely to go back to jail when you come out.
No, once you're in the system, it's like once you get,
they have a word for it, reviticism or whatever. You know, it's like it's like a statistic, you know, and it's like
and like it's honestly because you have no choice but to go back to life.
There's a stigma, right? It's like. Like they ask you that shit on job applications. Like, oh, it's not gonna affect it. Then why the fuck you ask?
Yeah.
Like why you even asking? It's not gonna.
Why you asking that question if you didn't want to know?
Like if I click the box no, you're still gonna run a background check on me.
Find out and I'm like,
why do you want to run a background check?
Exactly.
Right.
What are you hiding?
You have a hot take on the mental health patients being used as experiments versus like some revolutionary science going on.
Yeah, man. I mean, as big now as we are, like as men, me growing up, it was really hard to talk about stuff. And I feel like as men, as we sit here, we should be able to express ourselves because we weighed a lot of bear of this world on our shoulders. And like, people don't really want us to talk about it. We always got to take the nitty gritty and eat the shit all day. But in reality, we got feelings too, you feel me? And like, speaking on that, like our homeless system and like our veterans that come out, like, it's not that they don't want the help, but like the first thing is what's going on mentally. You know what I mean? You sticking them in housing doesn't mean shit. It doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
Like what resources do you have to really attack that full force instead of, they need water, they need bread, understand that. But you're just making them more comfortable to stay where they're at. You're just keeping them in the same place. And a lot of people like don't want to take the initiative or they just want to give up before even starting or having a solution to the problem. Right. And I feel that has a lot to do with the mental health. Obviously, you don't know what happens. Obviously, veterans, you come back from war. You know what I mean? They give you pills because you got hurt. You get addicted to stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of that happens to a lot of them. You know what I mean? But
and even if you want to get off, you become chemically dependent on the shit once you start using your body.
And like,
this is specifically for PTSD.
Yeah, and
we talked about psychedelics to help with addiction problems, right? And some of the most effective shit, and
definitely
cigarette
is
addiction, drinking, all that shit. But I guess like real narrow of the FDA. I don't know if like they'll be able to get it approved to do all that shit, right? And probably have to be used for specific things, and I don't know. But
it's definitely one of those things that.
But I feel that I feel that there's definitely like the stigma of mental health and and you know the patriarchy. And
I mean,
tough
like,
man, machismo, and like doing stuff with violence instead of words, and like.
Well, that's why you said
PTSD
and schizophrenia go hand in hand, because people don't know how to get to the idea. They think, oh, he's just fucking crazy. Let me throw in a fucking house or something, like a crazy home. That shit don't work like that, man. Figure out what the problem is and don't just give them meds either.
Yeah. Yeah, like as a Latino, like we're taught, like we're not supposed to talk about this unless we're drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's okay when you're drunk to tell people
and
how
you
you
lash out and you fight and like, oh, he was just wasted, you know. And then
there's an excuse for it
because you started a fight every time.
There's an excuse for it.
And it's just like that's not the way, man.
We are products of our environment.
I'm not gonna lie to you, because I still feel that way. I still don't feel like sharing my feelings and shit like that. I feel like, man, you should be able to go ahead and just fucking be able to go ahead and bury that in. And deal with life, which probably isn't good, you know what I mean? Because, like you said, like just with some of the psychedelic shit, some of that shit could come up. Even if you get angry, you know what I mean? You can explode and all of that shit can come up, you know what I mean? Instead of dealing with it at that point in time, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, man. It's just that the era I grew up in, man, men didn't talk shit about that shit because you will make fun of each other. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just a whole different time frame right now, you know what I mean?
It's funny that you say that too, because that's a total deflection of the way I look at it, you know, now that I realize what you just said. Like as a kid, it's, oh, I don't want to talk about my feelings, so I'm just going to make fun of your feelings, you know what I mean? Even though I'm going through the exact same thing.
That's what the whole point of making fun of somebody, you know what I mean? Yeah. Breaking them down to build yourself up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what that whole shit is about.
There's like playful, and then there's
and then there's actually when you're trying to hurt somebody.
It's malicious. To make yourself feel better, but like I'm gonna be real with you, like even though I have my issues with expressing myself, I always felt like I was a homie that would tell other homies like, I love you, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, yeah, bro, I love you, bro. Be safe out there, you know. Like I've definitely told you I love you. I told everybody here I love them, and like to me, like that's normal. But like to a lot of people, it makes them uncomfortable. Like, nah, it's a family.
Yeah, I'm not about to tell this man. You know what I mean? Like,
don't do that. All right, dog. Hey, food chill. You know what I mean?
Like, nah, bro. I just want you to know. And I think for me, it's part of my trauma though, because I think that I tell people that because I've been in situations where I didn't tell people,
and they lost
I never saw them again.
Right.
Exactly. Like I don't want to start crying on here, but you know, and now I just feel like I gotta tell my people like I love you, even if I don't care if they say it back or not. Like I love you, take care, be safe. Like, and it's like I said in that song.
It's like when you tell people be safe, it's like you actually mean that shit.
You know.
It's like. That's why I don't say goodbye anymore. No, I say see you later.
Was that Conway who said, I don't tell my people be safe, I tell them stay dangerous? That's
a great way of looking at it. That's the scale, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, to me though, I think any industry when you're living in a capitalist society is gonna be possible being corrupted and like unethical, right? Like, because the whole question was like be more ethical or like do better, and I just feel like I mean, like, I think, you know, with the right protocols and the right checks in place to make sure that it's not just about money and it's not just about legalization, decriminalization, but like we're actually listening to the patients.
Somebody actually fucking cares.
You're talking about people that have been suffering for more than a decade, like 10 years of your life, treatment resistant, trying all kinds of shit, you know? For sure. For those of you just listening, Stinky Tofu 310 in the chat said, I have a hard time differentiating between if someone has bad intent when joking. And Face responded,
I feel you on that. I think the energy and context speaks a lot on it. That's why I know certain people that prefer phone calls or prefer handling things in person, because sometimes
you lose it in text.
You lose. I mean, all the time you lose. What do you always say, Shneaky? Communication is what?
Like
80% body language.
Nonverbal.
Yeah, nonverbal. You know what I'm saying?
Which is true.
Oh, I feel you. Mm-hmm. Now, Stinky Tofu said now because of the past, most people who joked had a bad intention.
Oh, like they were joking and you found out they were doing fuck shit. Yeah. And that's why they were playing with your feelings and shit like that. You know what? Not taking your feelings seriously.
You should really
into consideration.
You should really read the 33 Laws of War, because they break that down in the first chapter. You know what I'm saying? They break down how certain things trigger your enemies, even if they're friends, to frenemies, to show themselves through certain tactics. You can make an enemy show themselves. The first chapter is about literally like declaring your enemies and declaring war on them, even if it's not violent. So like.
And 214 Freeway says schizophrenic tendencies are also shown as a result of drug misuse, which I think is also important. And I think that that's why like a lot of these trials have crazy screenings, right? And it is people that like, oh, you've tried everything already, and like And also I did a piece on a psychedelic study about like they were comparing like AIDS research to psychedelic research. Now, I'm not saying the things are the same. It wasn't an equation of those two things, so don't come at me because that's not what I'm saying. They were just saying that during the AIDS crisis that it was the patients who were demanding to be experimented on. They were like, give me some experimental shit. Like, I am dying right now. Like, I'm gonna die anyway. Like, try this shit on me, you know? And I think when we're talking about people with, like, again, more than a decade, suicidal thoughts, like 90% depressed, and they're just like, I'm about to off myself, you know? Give me something. Like, I think at that point, you gotta listen to the patients. And if the patients are asking for it...
That's the whole Dr. Kevorkian thing, though, like...
like assisted suicide,
like
euthanasia.
When do you decide that
the patient doesn't know what's good for themselves anymore, right? Yeah. And again,
that's true too, though.
You know,
because but like you said, that's a balance, man. That's a hell of a decision right there. You know what I mean? To give the if the patient wants something, is that what they need? You know what I mean?
But who are you to tell somebody what they need?
Right.
Someone who has expertise in trying to help this person.
No, right, but if I'm telling you, like, and I have, like, let's just say I have, like, 0.5% of possibility of survival, and I'm telling you, like, I'm in so much pain, I just want to die. Like, let me die. You know, that's why you never move in desperation. Stinky Tofu 310 said people do the craziest shit in desperation.
Oh, yeah, never move in desperation.
You know, that's one of the rules I taught my crew, for sure, right?
And I think that also equals this, right? Is that people who are desperate, people who are desperate for a cure, who are desperate for a fix, might do some shit that's borderline unethical or dangerous. So I think it's a complex issue.
It is.
But definitely a revolving door.
But we have been plagued, like Faze brought up, by years and years of misinformation and weaponized science and, like, you know, people, the government trying to decide what's good for us and what's bad for us and what's
that's
good
why
for them.
Even if something good comes up, people, the government just gave you so much trust of what the fuck that they're doing, you know what I mean? It's just like what to believe and what not to believe.
Yeah, like, not even to bring it up, but like we're not gonna talk about it, but just to mention it, the whole fucking vax situation, right? Like that's, you know, so many people on different sides of that is like, yo, I don't trust people, I don't trust this, I don't trust that. Yeah. And
you can't even blame them. Like I've always said,
you know, you know, when they come to me with that, I feel you, you know.
It's like these weed
laws.
Like, you know, like
these
the
weed laws.
syphilis experiments and like how do you expect
Tuskegee Airmen,
all that shit, they bring all of that shit up.
Chemtrails where they're poisoning people, like
I can't argue with it, but I will.
Drop the motherfucking Lysol on all the plants.
That you're finding out was actually an intergovernmental inside job to like make and save money, and like Flint was poor already. So it's like, it's just
good segment though.
But I mean, I'm trying to like make this shit more fucking interesting for the people, and it's like, okay, dude, like,
I mean, this is different topics to talk. This is really what's going on in the world.
Stinky Tofu 310, and like I know him as a person out in the streets, and like I really feel like the financial incompetence is a big deal. I was blessed to meet my boy because he put me on money in a different way, and you know, I think a lot of people in the world, not just America, not just the hood, don't really understand how money works, because money literally works for you. You as an individual can make X amount of money in 24 hours, 7 days a week, and that shit could literally be gauged statistically. But your money can change that game to where it works for you all day, every day, in different ways, at different rates, in different places. So like,
that are protected in different levels of like guarantee and safety and risk and shit, right? Yeah.
So like, you know, my guy Stinky Tofu put me on that game, and like, you know, he's a real one because like me, he believes in making everybody helping everybody build their own empires, and I really think that him and like people like myself believe that fuck math. I mean math, basic math, yes, but algebra, yeah, but like fuck all like that other bullshit. We need to be hedging inflation, exactly. Like your money can sit in your savings account
and you lose it,
and and you could have $1 million. But the inflation rate is at 7% plus. So if you keep it in your savings and there's no percentage over that you're making interest on, then you're losing money. And all the banks do is use your money
to make money.
Loan it to other people. You know, like,
hey, bro, you need to come on here and talk some finance, bro. Earn your leisure or what? What's up?
Yeah, seriously. No, I mean,
business
is one of the things that me and him just talk about. You know,
this stuff people don't know. This is stuff people don't know about. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
And this ties into some of the work that I do, like off camera and shit,
yeah,
like the community
work.
shit.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of people, like a lot of our people, you know, immigrant, like first generations, you know, English not their first language type folk. You know, they'll go to their priest and ask them, yo, what should I do with my money? You know, like we don't have financial advisors.
Right.
You know, they don't have no
financial literacy, man.
No, so they go to their priest and they're asking their priest like, yo, how do I buy my house? You know, like where do I invest my money? No, it's serious shit. Like we
but I know you're being honest.
So like, you know, there's literally people that are working to like go into the churches and provide financial literacy classes, right? And teach people like, here's savings, here's investments. Well, I want to do it for artists because artists are the worst with their money. Like they don't have it usually, and then when they get it, it's gone. And no one taught them how to invest. Like you don't, unless you're smart. Artists don't have a retirement plan. You're not getting a salary. You know what I mean? Like
I think that's something that Matron Media Productions. Shout out to Matron Media Productions. That's the people we partnered with. That's our label that we partnered with. He's about that. You know what I'm saying? We're taught to save that shit. The worst mistake. Hell yeah, it is stinky tofu. Like for real.
Don't save your money.
Don't save your money. Invest it. Make it work. Make it work.
So I mean, just there's a whole plethora of things that, you know, underserved, under-resourced communities don't get. Healthcare, mental health care, financial literacy, all that shit. And like, you know, I think as we're all waking up right now and we're all like the internet and, you know, people that have good intentions and trying to like help each other out, pull each other up, I think this is a good time to like spread that knowledge and like elevate, you know, which is what this and bringing on Preach and like that's kind of what, you know, in our own little way, this is our version.
I mean, how are we ever going to get anywhere if we don't discuss these things and try to figure out why we have different opinions on shit and find common ground and shit like that. I mean, that's what we're for, you know what I mean? Because there's no person that has the one correct answer. So by talking to each other, I think we become closer to finding, finding out problems with society.
And also like teaching each other to fish. I remember one time I was at this person's house and his little brother asked him for help. And he asked him, how do I spell this? And he just told him, and I was like, hey, bro, like, why don't you teach him how to go on dictionary.com and look up the word and figure it out on his own? He was like, no, I'm just telling him. And in my head, I was like, we have the world.
You're not really helping him.
We have the world at our fingertips, and you're telling him the answer when he can literally just go on and get it. He's already, like, looking at a screen maybe 70% of the day. Why not make that screen something
that's something he ain't looking up though.
Yeah, you know, and no, but like if you like, for instance,
but if he needed that answer,
I've taught my daughter that, and now I taught my daughters like how to use the web to their advantage, and like my oldest is making digital art videos and whatnot. She's only 10, bro. Like, you know, like
but they're smarter than we were.
They're more literate when it comes to technology, but
no, but that's something you can learn.
Yeah,
that's something you can learn, and it's something that like.
I mean, y'all know me.
Learning and knowledge is something that we should all be passing to each other. You know.
How many times do I tell you guys Google it?
Yeah, for sure.
We have the world at our fingertips, and like, there's no reason.
Which is crazy because it didn't used to be that way.
Yeah, I remember before I had to literally go to the dictionary and look for the word. Mm-hmm. You know, now you just type.
You have to go through a phone book to look up a number.
I even still like, I will, because I don't like to look illiterate or whatever, I will, like, go to dictionary.com and look up how to write a word. Actually, now you can just go on Google and just put it in, and, like, it'll, like, correct it for you. So.
Yeah, we're pretty much cyborgs, straight up.
Yeah, that's why Elon Musk is, like,
So we are
trying
right
to
now.
implant chips and shit, you know?
That's what this whole metaverse, all of it.
that shit creepy. All right, so,
Yeah. I'm done. Thank you, Psychedelic Studies. Go back and listen to the old ones. Check them out. I'm gonna be actually doing shorter clips of the segments coming to YouTube, so you guys could or y'all could find the quicker shit. Also, as we were talking about multiple people in the conversation, I want to shout out the people in the chat who have been, contributing to this. So 214 Freeway. AV Jui, Academy Impossible, another TV viewer.
Hey.
Ava Semaphore, Commander Root, Erica FNBR, Horror Papi, It's a Ma. It's a Ma. I don't know how to say that.
Which one?
Lily
Tough.
Lily Tough.
Lily Tough.
Switch flags, Magic Mouth.
Alright. More flags, more fun. And Stinky Tofu. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Chat us up.
Horror Poppy, what's your favorite horror movie?
It's probably gonna tell you Michael or Freddy. These are classics, dude.
Okay.
But real spit, thank y'all for tuning in. Follow us, subscribe. It really helps us. And make sure you check out our Instagrams at MMUpClan. You can find us on everything, all your DSPs, which is digital streaming platforms where you listen to shit. And at FaceVsit on all and everything that is anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But before we start, I just want to say this man right here has literally changed the way I looked at music. Help me realize my own sound. Led me to be the musician, if I may, that I am today. And he deserves all the props, and I think that he underestimates or doesn't give himself enough credit when it comes to how many people he's helped in the game. But when I saw his list of people that he thanked, I'm pretty sure that he helped all of them. So I want to give it up for my guy, PreachDaTruth. PreachDaTruth just dropped a project. It's called Lost Love Tape Volume 1, Songs for DeAnna.
Yes, sir.
And Horror Poppy said he's got too many favorites.
So many to pick
He
from.
likes the OG slashers, but he always had a sweet spot for zombie flicks.
Good. We need to talk about that shit one day. But nah, man, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, man, I'm happy to be here.
Can I just give my top thoughts real quick about it? Just because mine are gonna be done real quick.
This project?
Yeah. I already told you this off camera, so I just had to make sure that the people heard it too. Are we hearing a sample of the drop? Damn.
You can check it out on all your musical platforms.
Digital platforms.
Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes.
I might be able to pull something up later. I might have to get off camera for that. But I like the fact that Horror Poppy, I'm gonna see if I can do that for you because you're the homie. I like the fact that it's like a diverse group of sounds. Like all the songs are kind of like different genres or genre blending. There's a lot of like it's like your range, you know. It's like a, and the fact that it's a volume 1 lets people, like, to me I was like, oh, it's over already. Like it was short. Oh, his session is all bangers.
I love you, son.
Like to me, like I remember, like it started over. I looked up, like, oh, like it's over. It's short. It feels so concise. And it's volume 1. That means like there's more coming, right?
Yeah, that's by design.
Yeah. So that.
Oh.
So that was my
Okay.
That was my top thing. But then I also heard like these little references, like you made like a Red Hot Chili Peppers reference, you know, like Flock of Seagulls, you know, like I like all the alternative kind of like shout outs. Like as you're genre blending, you're also like paying homage to the people that have inspired you.
Me, yeah.
And I think like as someone who likes to do that, like I was like, man, fuck you, bro. Like, copied you when they hear my shit, you know? Like, it's like, cause, yeah, so, I like that. So those are my top things, and so, yeah, you can respond, or you can let Face get into it, whatever.
No, I appreciate that. All right, first and foremost, man, as far as leaving the CD kind of short, I just like getting to the point, you know what I mean? And nowadays, it's just like people don't have as much, they can't pay attention to something as long because you have so many things at your fingertips. You don't have to wait through the commercials anymore, you know what I mean? You don't have to really listen to the radio to listen to what song you want to listen to. So I just kind of, I want it to a point where people don't want to skip the songs, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And just by me doing all type of genres, it's just that these are all type of things that have inspired me, you know what I mean? It's just like, I really, really love music. It started out as rap because I just felt that, all right, I'm a black dude, and if I like anything else, I'm being completely honest. I'm a black, I didn't even like playing rock out loud. I was like, I'm a black dude, so I'm supposed to be rapping. And then, like, you know, time goes on, and then you start seeing artists do things and stepping out of the box and actually being fearless, you know what I mean? That actually gave me the confidence to want to do what I want to do, you know what I mean? So
you're definitely standing on the shoulders of giants, and that's
man,
part of the homage and shit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm paying homage to a lot of them, man. The whole Cotton song is a Daft Punk, like, just repeating the song over and over, but just switching up the beat, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
that
shit was fire.
Can I play it straight from here?
I mean,
I don't have any logins to this stuff on this.
Oh, that's all his streams. I don't know if you can.
Alright, I'll figure it out.
If he has YouTube on there, you can.
I love how you put everything. It always came back to love, one way or another. Like the deepest one though is number 2 though. I mean, for your bar heads.
I know you'll feel that. But for the bars, yeah.
Well, it's also the melodies, and then at the end, bro, like you do the high, like angel wings are spreading, then you do the down tone. Like that shit is beautiful, bro. Like
me and Sesh was he was like, he voicemailed me in the DMs. He was like, bro, like that spread your wings like an eagle is raw. I was like, bro, it's because I really feel it, you know what I mean? It's hard. Like I cried a couple times recording that shit. Like it was hard to get through because I really, really fucking feel that way.
That's what it felt. That's as a listener.
I'm glad, man.
Like even if I didn't know you at all, and I heard that somebody, yo, check this dude out. I'm like, bro, it's got so much emotion. It had me almost like to the side, like, I'm getting that little lump in my throat.
No, I appreciate that.
And I also think like me not even knowing you personally, I think anybody would feel the same way. Like, I'm not going to mention names, but back when I was like really trying to get on at any cost, I sent my 2 of the songs I thought were like the hardest songs I ever wrote, and I still think that. I just think it wasn't delivered the way it should have been. To some people that are like on the radio, they're famous. If I told you their name, like it's pretty impressive. But like, they told me like, I don't believe you, and that meant so much to me. And like, just because I was like, this is the truth. How do you not believe me?
Yeah,
you know. But it came from like basically like that emotion, and this is why I think so many actors, so many rappers become great actors, is because you call on the emotions that caused you to write the songs, and I think you did that perfectly in your project. I mean, I've always thought you to do that in most of what you do, music-wise, but you know, we're still on here, but I got some questions after. What was your like favorite song out of the whole project?
I'm gonna play that one, so choose carefully.
My favorite song on the whole thing was "Life in a Nutshell," because it was basically talking about life and death and how you're spending all this time with yourself. You know what I mean? And
oh shit, my bad. Keep going.
No, it's just basically, man, how you're spending this whole life with yourself. You know what I mean? And how you go through things, losing people, happiness, sadness, just all of that. It's just life in a nutshell, man. It can end as quick as it begins. You know what I mean? And you never know. So that's my favorite song on the whole thing.
Okay.
And that's the one that's not on YouTube. Crazy, man. Oh, it's because it changed the to the.
I don't know if it's on there though.
No, it is. DistroKid, you sent it. It sent it. Yeah, that's right there. You want to hear it? Should we hear it now? Or you want to hear it later?
It's up to you.
We can hear it now.
All right. Let me just keep going. I'll import it.
Was it? I know this is your first solo project, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, was it refreshing to just work alone?
Yeah, it was. It actually was, man. Not to get into any masters, you know what I mean? It's just like producers I worked with in the past. It's just like I would sit on a beat for a minute, and I felt that was unfair to them. And I just want to do different type of things. Most of the producers I know are just really rap. You know what I mean? So I actually wanted to go out there and actually try something myself, and it was fun doing it. You know what I mean? Discovering what I can do, man. But that's a real fun part of making beats.
Yeah, I can imagine. So are we ever gonna hear more Screaming O's music?
No, definitely. I was thinking about that yesterday.
Dope.
I was just with him yesterday, so we're definitely gonna make some
birthday,
Screaming O's.
right?
Yeah. I mean, it's his birthday tomorrow, but we was over there yesterday.
So you got to do that ska stuff you were talking about earlier.
The ska stuff.
Yeah,
man.
I can hear you on that shit. We talking about them horns, baby. Them horns, baby.
What I really like about you is that you're just kind of fearless on everything. You've inspired me to do things that I never thought I would do. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything that you did on here that you really thought like I would never do that and you did it?
Cotton. Just a song like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can hear that. I can
Touch
see
it,
that.
you know what I mean? Just a repetitive song over and over and singing just about that. Because remember, man, I came from being a rapper.
And
So
you are a dope lyricist, so yeah.
when I came from rapping, you know what I mean? We came up during like the pit, you know what I mean? Snap battles. You know what I mean? Just talking to a person how many ways you could kill them, or how many ways you could eat them up, or you know what I mean? You know what I mean? What you got, and you know what I mean? That's where I started off from, and it just kind of grew from there, man. It's you know what I mean? It's just like all type of genres of music, bro. It's just I just really love music, and I just really like writing from the heart. You know what I mean? I don't want to sell myself short. You know what I mean? That's what I don't want to do.
Oh, honestly, I think like with from what I heard on the two passes that I gave it, like the amount, like I said, the range and the amount of like thoughtfulness, like the hooks, the writings, the Easter eggs. I feel like I can feel the intention, you know, and it feels like you went all out, you know, and that you like. Seems like you put a lot of love into this project, you know. So like that love, the love type, the titles like it suits it, you know. That it's like song, like you know, you made it kind of a shout out to a girl, like the Michael Jackson reference or whatever. But it's also like you put love into the tape, you know. And you can hear it.
Even the rap song, you know? I love my black brothers. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm tired of watching young niggas die. I really fucking am, especially. Rappers and shit, you get famous to a level and then motherfuckers come shoot you. It's just like, not even rappers, you know, I'm just in general, you know what I mean? It's just like, what is it for, man? It's that we're talking about all this Black Lives Matters and you know what I mean and all this stuff, but statistically, we kill each other more than any other race. So I think we kind of need to look at that, and it's a hard conversation to have, man, because it's all of this stuff has been embedded to you, you know what I mean? And you just got all this stuff in you. Like, walking down the street, you like, when I see another brother walking down the street, we gonna look at each other to see who looked down first, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And one we should be saying, what's going on, man? You know what I mean? What was good? Embracing each other instead of being standoffish with each other, you know what I mean? So that's the part I want to see where us get to, you know what I mean? So that's what that song is about. I hate seeing us, you know, I hate seeing us going against each other. I hate seeing us dying, and I just want to see us be at a better place where we love each other. And that's just in general.
I mean, that's what I always dug about.
I mean, that's my favorite song on the project.
Oh, y'all rappers, man.
That's what I always dug about,
man.
like the 5%er. You know, I'm not like there's a lot of shit that I don't fuck with in their ideology, but like that whole like or like that the what they show in Wu-Tang, the Islam, you know, like everybody's like peace, God, Assalamu alaikum, you know, like the greetings is all about
today's mathematics.
It's like love. Everybody's like they were trying to do this like, hey, let's all just like be treating each other with love type shit.
Exactly.
You know? And like I want to see that come back.
Well, what's funny about that is I literally asked. Remember, I asked you about mathematics a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
I want to learn about it. I know it's not aimed at me, but I just want to know because numbers has always been a thing for me. Like, always.
Sesh said you put your soul into that.
Oh, yeah.
No, I did, man. That's why I told you, Sesh. It was like, bro, if I ever perform that live, I don't think I'll be able to sing that last part the whole way through because I actually feel that shit.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna pull it over real quick. We're gonna play it.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's see if they can hear it. Can y'all hear it? I don't think they can hear it. Work.
What?
What?
Alright. I'll try it later. You got more questions for the man? I'm gonna try to pull up another way to listen to it.
I'm pretty. Why do they call you Preach the Truth?
My friend's mom actually gave me that name. Because she was like, your name should be some like philosopher or preacher or preach the truth or something like that. Shout out, Kels. Love you.
Stuck with the man ever since.
Mm-hmm. No, she definitely gave that to me.
Alright, let me try this again. I think I figured out the issue. So here we go.
Tell us about See No Evil.
No. It's coming out of the TV. They're gonna hear it over the mic, so it sounds like shit. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, just tell
Hey,
me
man.
listen to it.
Go listen to it on all
Drop
musical
the
platforms.
link in the chat. Go listen to it.
Yes,
Remind me one more time what the name of it is, Preach.
It's called Lost Love Songs, Volume 1, Songs for DeAnna. What's up, Cubby? Hope you out there. I named it after you. I told you I was. And, yeah, man. Go check it out, man. I really, really put my heart into it. I'm really proud of it, too, man. I really am.
It's got something for everybody, and I'm not lying about that. For real.
Yes.
All right, y'all. I think that
About wraps it up. Don't forget, Barlitos Way drops April 1st. Friday, baby.
Oh, you better believe it.
Oh, you better believe it.
And you already know, follow Up Clan on everything. Go to our shop, buy our shit. That's mmupclan.com/shop or etsy.com/mmupclan, or just search Up Clan. You'll find our shit. You'll buy our shit. You'll support all of it. AFU streaming on all DSPs.
Double the buckets and double the Dutch. Double it up. Okay. Double the buckets and double the Dutch. Double it.